Alright, I'm here with Dan Lozzi and Sean Walsh. We did a couple interviews. My name is Josh Wells. So we're going to start with Sean.
Yep.
Talk about Rucktion Records. So Sean, where is Rucktion Records based out of? What
London.
bands are on it?
Okay, it's based out of London, UK. Band, let's see, the main bands on there is Bun Them Out, 9 Bar, which I have going in the background right now. Alright, I mean, you can see that I've been with Rucktion. It's like a big supporter of them, always been a supporter of the band. I'd have to say they've been around for almost 15 years, DIY. Bun Them Out, they got Bun Them Out, Prowler, 9 Bar, Diction. Those are some of the biggest bands that are on the label right now.
Alright. Alright, so how have you been helping them in America?
Basically, I mean, I've been talking with the Rucktion dudes for probably at least, I'd say, 10 years or more. Pierre Pelview Rucktion, he's a singer of Bun Them Out, also a lead singer of Knuckle Dust. Poppy Rucktion, he handles everything. It's based out of their house in London itself, actually.
Cool, cool. Alright, so tell us about what Dan has been doing in Europe and how you help him.
Basically, the first year that we toured this, so we're going on our second year actually. Dan, you want to get ready to get in on this?
Yeah.
For it?
Yeah, I just, I do my thing, speak in places and talking at shows and stuff, and me and Sean started talking a couple of years ago about going over there to Europe. Sean knew a lot of people all over, actually in a few different countries. It was actually kind of my idea to keep it all in the same area.
Okay.
Just the language barrier. I'd been to Europe before. I understood the kids learn English in school, but I was kind of skeptical, I'll be honest with you. As much as I wanted to do it, I was motivated about it, but I was still kind of like, I don't know how this is going to go. Mm-hmm. And Sean had all the hookups. We talked to everybody over there. He put me in touch with those guys, and we went over it. It went really well. I did 4 shows about a year and a half ago now, and it went really good. And we're going back again, and I can't thank those guys enough for helping. And I just, like I said, it's more surprised than anything else at how well it went.
Alright.
The dogs are going crazy.
So when are you guys going back over there?
We're going back over in October actually. It's this one, it's full. We're doing a bunch of countries. We're doing England. England's the last day. We're doing Ninja Fest. Big show. Probably one of the biggest hardcore shows they have. It hasn't been together in 10 years, so it's...
Oh, nice. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Well, Sean's been to Ninja Fest before. He's been over. That's kind of how he met a lot of these guys.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, well, last question for you guys. What is the difference between the American scene and the European scene?
Basically, the scene itself, kids over there, first time when I went over there and I watched a show over there, no matter what band was on, every kid stayed inside the venue.
So not like the United States.
Oh, the United States, I go to shows and it's like, all I want to do is see, I'm going in to see this band, so fuck every other band. I'll pay my $10 and I'm going to sit my ass outside. And they don't understand, it's like, you're not going to understand the band unless you go in and watch them. Mm-hmm. No, it's totally different scene. I much respect the European scene a hell of a lot more than I do the US scene. If it gets me in trouble, oh well, you heard me say it. It's just fact being, it's a hell of a lot much more support over there.
I know, I see like a lot of the smaller local shows, they have like hundreds of kids there, whereas over here there's like 50 at the most will show up to a show.
Yeah, they want to see their band. Right, Dan,
I can add to that. Listen, man, I think, I hate to say this, and I'm vocal about it, I'll say it again now. Like you said, the United States, dude, I can narrow it down even more. You're from New York, we're from Massachusetts. Dude, there's a difference between the Northeast and the rest of America, even.
Yeah.
I started noticing it the first time people started booking me outside of New England. Because, I first started speaking around New England, New York, New Jersey, stuff like that. Dude, this is the problem, right? It's not just an America versus Europe thing. The Northeast is an area where, hardcore shows it's like a weekend thing.
Yeah.
It's like a Saturday night thing. It's a Friday night thing, right? Where other places where they don't get that kind of thing all the time, like we're spoiled. Like look at the bands that are from this area, right? You go to like, you're like in the middle of like Kansas or something like that. I mean, yeah, they got bands, they got a scene, but they're not spoiled on. They can't just see this stuff all the time like we do. And you can have a show on a Tuesday night and it's loaded. That was very hard for me to understand. When I first started, when people took me on tour with them and stuff, I was like, why would anyone go to this thing on a Wednesday night? Mm-hmm. I found out quickly, that's why they'll go. I mean, I guess they're more into it, right? As far as the like sitting outside for the first couple bands, the bands that aren't as well known, again, I'm not saying it doesn't happen to other places, but I think that problem's bigger in this area. It's like Saturday night, when do the big bands go on? And in that, it's, what people don't understand is, I remember seeing Hatebreed play in front of 30 people. There are bands now that are huge. That I saw Shadows Fall one time play in front of 4 people, like in a snowstorm. My band played too. I mean, my old band, it was like we played back to back with them, and we played with them a bunch of times. But I remember when Unearthed was a side project. I remember when Guy from Red Chord used to call me, ask me like if what the shows were, could their band jump on?
Right.
These bands are huge now. Mm-hmm. At that time, nobody knew. They were the band playing first that nobody wanted to see. So people gotta realize that, dude. It's not. I mean, I don't get like popular versus unpopular. Look at the music we're listening to. It's underground. None of these bands are popular. You know what I mean? Even the biggest bands are not getting played on MTV. How about Brian
Flair, singer of Shadows Fall, playing in Overcast, playing at shows, playing 30 kids.
Right.
Yeah.
So no one knew who Overcast was.
I think a lot of things up around here, anyways, I feel like it's taken for granted.
Oh, absolutely in this area.
I book shows on a weekday because I know
it's tough to do.
4 kids show up.
Right.
But
it's a Friday night thing here, where another thing that this area lacks. Again, I see it in other parts of the country. I didn't understand this concept at first. You've got these like all ages clubs, like Black Sheep Cafe out in Illinois. These are like hybrid, half all ages club, half skate park. Some of the places might have like video games and stuff, and it's like they're open every day. It's like an after school thing. I mean, the shows will start at like 5 and the kids are there, and they're done at like 9:30. The parents let them go. It's like it's more like they got these like recreation after school places where they let shows take place, but we don't have that concept out here. It's I'm not saying it doesn't exist out here. I'm just saying it's like, man, I've been in this scene, I've been doing the extreme music routine since like the late 80s when I was a little kid, like 10 years old, 11 years old, whatever. And like 89, 87, 88, when I was really little. And I'm 36 now, and dude, even me, I mean, I'm not saying these things don't exist, but it was hard for me to get out of that habit.
Right.
Why would you have a show on a Wednesday? Who's going to go? And now I understand that's how they do it in other places.
I mean, I booked a bunch of shows in Oswego at the Red Planet Skate Park.
Yeah.
Middle of the week. There'd be a good crowd there.
Right.
But small venues like that.
Right. And I'll bet, no offense, I'll bet the big crowds were for the bigger bands too. I mean, yeah. If Madball plays on a Tuesday night, of course it's going to be packed.
The place is going to be packed
but you shouldn't have to rely on that.
No.
You
should rely on kids that you want in the building.
Right.
Kids showing up to support an independent music scene versus this big bands.
Right.
So they can seem popular.
Right.
Because they got to forget the younger bands or the starting ones scrounging together whatever they can. They get a chance to play like a weeknight show. Of course, they're going to take the opportunity.
Right.
I also see a big difference between European scene and American scene is my friends in like England and Germany, they're always constantly posting something about a show. Always. Here, no one does it. Over there, it's like because I think it seems like they care, not more, but they'll take it for as granted as a lot of the American, a lot of kids around in the Northeast and just in general do.
I'll tell you another thing that might explain some of that, and I noticed this like the first time I went to Europe. Again, it wasn't Outlook related. I wasn't speaking. I got a lot of family over in Italy, and I noticed like my cousin's boyfriend, like totally straight face, was asking me like, "How's Ugly Kid Joe doing?" You remember them? I don't know if you're too young. I mean, it, just this silly like hand band.
I think you might.
And it was like, dude, I remember like one of my cousins was like really like Tears for Fears, and she's all about them. But dude, the point being is, they talk about these bands as if they're happening right now.
Yeah.
And that relates to hardcore, because I noticed, like, dude, I'm not saying there aren't trends there. I mean, yeah, they're into a lot of the trends we are. Of course, there are fads all over the world, just like in America. But they're definitely not as submissive to a fad or a popularity contest as we are. They're clearly not. I mean, dude, if they're listening to Ugly Kid Joe and Tears for Fears, I mean, they really don't care what your opinion is of their musical taste if you listen to Ugly Kid Joe. You know, so that's, you know, that might explain some of it too, why they might not, why they're more into it and they're into whatever's good as opposed to what's popular.
Because I also know a lot of kids out in the United States really don't know much about the European scene.
Right.
No, it's very tough.
That's why it's good with record labels like Rucktion.
Yeah.
They like put these bands out there, and that's how I got into a lot of that music, is this record label.
Right, and it's amazing too, man, because like when I went over there, I mean, I remember like Pierre was showing us the videos and stuff, like the Bund 'Em Out video, and I'm like, you know, we watched that DVD here at Sean's, and I'm like, dude, these bands are really big over there. I mean, they're huge. They're playing like, I mean, that's like Ozfest what those guys are playing, and it's like, it's weird how, like you said, like some of these bands, people here might not even know about them. It's actually kind of odd.
I booked in Blood We Trust here, and there was like 50 kids there. When they play in Germany, there's like 500.
Right. And he used to tell me that, and I always thought he was exaggerating. No offense, John. I mean, I've never been part of that. Well, and then I was like, wow, he's right.
I also talked with those dudes, and they said to me, with me up in Oswego, I had a conversation just like this, and they said the same exact thing. That was a few years ago. And it's just crazy, like, not so much it changes, but it seems like it's more consistent with over there than it is here.
And guys, the thing is too, I don't want to turn this into a cliche, like, you know, America sucks and Europe's better, and this, as far as the scene goes. I'm not saying that, dude. I'm saying, like, even in America, I still stand to my opinion that a lot of what we're saying is a reflection of our area. The Northeast is spoiled on bands. A kid in Georgia, a kid in Nevada is going to be way more excited about seeing a band that we see all the time, dude. We go to shows, I mean, we've talked about, like, you can go to a New York show and a guy from H2O could just be standing there hanging out at the show. And it's like nothing to us, so yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, that's like, that stuff don't happen in other parts of the country, you know? So.
I've talked to like my friend from France. Said the same thing what you're saying. Like my friends from the southern states. And this middle of nowhere, they all say the same thing. What you guys are saying too. And that's crazy. That's a thing. We're all in the same country, but how things complete. You can go across state lines and be completely different music scenes.
Absolutely.
And it's really cool to go to other parts of the state and the states and like the world to see how things are different. It really opens your mind.
I think there's a difference between where we are in Western Massachusetts. Two completely different scenes. I think Western Mass has probably linked themselves more than anything with the New York and the Connecticut scenes. Possibly Vermont, you know.
I mean, look at Before I Had Wings. Hooked up. I mean, it's like the drummer. I mean, he's in the Western Mass, but he lives in Albany. I mean, it's like every time. I mean, I went out there a couple of times, and those kids, they're unbelievable.
Yeah, super great dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, they played for me a few times, and they was like, we love, like, your friends coming out and supporting us. He's like, because a lot of that, they don't get that back home. Sometimes hit or miss. Depends on who's headlining. Well, I just wish shows were back in the day, maybe 100 kids no matter who was playing. Because kids just wanted an outlet. To release their aggression in a positive manner.
I don't know, man. I just, like I said, I think I'm sorry, dude. Northeast area. I mean, I'll name the states: Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Hampshire, all of New England. We're just used to this type of thing. I especially think now, too, dude. I'll tell you another thing, man. Even just in general. I mean, with the internet, I mean, there's millions of bands out there. Aggressive music can just be heard on MTV2 or whatever. And dude, this stuff was really hard to find when I was a kid.
Yeah,
really, really, really hard to find.
You had to like find something like a CD player for one thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Then, but basically the tapes and everything, they have like people that have like mixed tapes of shows, they hand them out to promote their demos and stuff like that. Whereas you just go online, you can find it. Before you had to go to a show to find out what a band is. You had to get a zine and read it to find out what bands are.
You can
it's easy.
You can start a band now, start a website, and I'm not knocking it. Most of my friends in bands do this. You start a website, dude. You can instantaneously have an audience, a massive, significant audience, without even playing a show yet.
Yep.
I mean that's think about that.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. It's not, dude. You've got. I mean, you look at how many times have you seen a band now? We've had bands on here, brand new band, first show.
And
I mean, everyone's excited.
Kids.
They've already heard their music.
There's almost
they've got it.
kids,
Yeah, they've got it posted on the internet. It's like, dude, I know bands who probably their first show they probably could have headlined the show. I mean, because their website already had so many hits in other band camp, whatever.
One band I booked their first show, Forfeiture, great kids from Syracuse. I booked them. They drew so many kids to the show. I was like, the first show, I was like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Right.
I mean, I think it's cool. Like, see all these younger kids coming out, like older dudes, and actually just being a part of something positive instead of something that's like.
She's asleep. Yeah, go on, Josh. Sorry.
So you know what? Because I know back in the day, and I'd go to shows in like people's basements and garages, like where I live. I live in the middle of nowhere. But there'd always be like 100 kids there. Right. Someone would say punk show, I'm there.
That's another thing too. I noticed like the whole house show concept. Not saying that about. Of course, I've been to a billion house shows here in Massachusetts. But definitely, I think the house show scene is also more different. It's stronger in other parts of the country. Here, it's like, okay, can we have a house show? Can we pull it off? Where can we have it? There, dude, you go far away. Well, they've got like the designated house. Like this is where we have them. No one's gonna bother us. There's not gonna be a problem. And it's like, dude, I've been to house places like the Naylor in El Paso, Texas. I mean, that's just to name one. Dude, they give the house like they give the basement a name. Like that Naylor out in Texas. Dude, I walked in there. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. They turned the living room into a club. Like they had a stage lights and like a PA system, and dude, I was like, the Naylor was on the wall in the background. I'm like,
where was this, El Paso?
In Texas, yeah. If you took a picture of this, and if I told you this was a club, you'd believe me. Like they built a club in the living room, and they gave it a name. Like when you hear the Naylor, you're supposed to know you're going to this house. You know, and I don't know, man. Like a lot of that type of thing, I was like, wow, man, this is heavy. I've never seen anything like this before. You know.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
If you have anything else to add,
pretty much.
I mean, anyone that wants to check out Rucktion, anyone's got the internet, rucktion.com.
And I'll post like the links to some of the bands we talked about.
Yeah, definitely.
And to Russian records and the.
Drop them a line. Tell them you heard about us on this interview.
Yeah. This dude right here runs the American distro for Rucktion, so.
Sean can be seen also a lot of times when I'm speaking. Me and him will combine tables.
I mean, I'm not doing fully U.S. distro right now. I mean, I just basically, Pierre, last time when I was in London, Pierre from Knuckledust, Bun Them Out, lead singer, and Poppy Rucktion, his roommate, I basically asked him, I'm like, listen, I'd like to help you guys out with doing some distro. They sent me over, a huge box of distro. Advanced me everything, and I'm usually a lot of local hardcore shows. Usually, if I'm at a show, I'm usually set up with Dan Lozzi sitting right here with the Outlook. Dan, you want to give him the web link?
For my website?
Yeah, for your website.
www.theoutlookspeaks.org. Can't get in touch with Sean, get in touch with me. I'll pass you over to him if you want to order some of their stuff. Check out the bands, whatever, and just me and Sean hook up a lot without putting our tables together and stuff. Link everything up, and he's been a big part of helping me out over there, and we look forward to going back in October.
Yeah, sounds
to see everybody.
All right, so I think that sums that up.
Yeah.
All right, cool.